welcome to another edition of the Amazons and Afripreneurs interview series from the stable of Agbari Multimedia Company, where we showcase and celebrate Amazons and Afripreneurs on the African continent. Our mission, of course, is to inspire you into greatness as we celebrate winning Amazons and Afripreneurs in Africa. If you have any questions for our guests, kindly drop them now in the comment section and we'll be sure to get them answered by our guests. Today on the show, I have a promising and worthy African ambassador and entrepreneur. And before I bring him into the studio, let's just get to know a little bit about him.
Peter Yakobe is a diligent and experienced social entrepreneur and international development practitioner with a demonstrated history of working in human development processes and practices. He had his secondary education in Chinamwali Private Secondary School between 2005 and 2008. He obtained a Bachelor of Arts degree in Leadership with Business Administration from African Bible University of Uganda in 2009. Peter Yakobe also got another degree from University of Iowa in Entrepreneurship and Business Development in 2016 through the Mandela Washington Fellowship. He bagged a master's degree in International Development Management at the University of Bradford. Yakobe was Executive Director, Center for Free Market Enterprise, CFME, for 5 years between 2014 and 2019. He facilitated African programming of the Mandela Washington Fellowship and provided technical support and advice to over 370 yearly fellows, alumni. This was during his time as the General Secretary for Young African Leaders Initiative Regional Advisory Board between October 2016 and September 2017 in Johannesburg, South Africa. Peter Yakobe is a member of the Board of Advisors, United Nations Children's Fund U Report Project Central Region in Malawi, where he coordinates the project activities, especially on creating strategies and monitoring the project's progress. He also facilitates partnerships and lobbies policymakers to make commitments towards the project. Yakobe provides overall organizational leadership, operations and staff management, resource mobilization, strategic planning, program development, and quality assurance. Peter has volunteered in organizations and made several publications pushing for growth, expansion, and more efficient and effective delivery in services and improvement of the society at large. Peter Yakobe is skilled in enterprise risk management, policy analysis, entrepreneurship and business development, organizational leadership, and project management. He is a worthy entrepreneur, African ambassador, and role model for African youth.
Mr. Peter, welcome to the show. Like I said, on this interview series, we celebrate Amazons and Afripreneurs, and we would like to use your story to inspire African youth. So, welcome again.
Thank you very much.
After this bio, like I usually would ask my guests, what else do we not know about Mr. Peter Yakobe? Is there any other thing that you'd like to still share?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think you mentioned almost everything, but just to add, I work as an economic development consultant, so I consult in the areas that you mentioned in the bio, in organizational leadership, business development, resource mobilization, and project management in general. So I'm a full-time consultant here.
Your bio is very intimidating. You've been involved with so many developmental activities in Africa. You've facilitated several youth programs. How have you navigated these responsibilities as a young man and still keep your head up?
Yeah, I think, first of all, we have to know that every day time is ticking. If you are 20 years old today, you want to be 20 years old tomorrow. And that means that the energy that you have today is not the same level of energy that you have tomorrow. the number of things that you can do today are not the same thing that you can do tomorrow. So I realized that the best way is to make sure that we make the best use of the available time that we have as young people. Because as a young person, I can do a number of things at once. I can be doing 10 things. Things that I will not be able to do maybe in 10 years time. I maybe will not be able to do in the next 20 years time. So key to all of this is the time management. So I make sure that I time every activity that I am doing. I make sure that everything that I want to do is properly planned and scheduled. So I think that has helped me to be able to do a number of things even within a short period of time.
So as you know now, those of us watching, being young is always an advantage, always a disadvantage of your youth. Mr. Yakobe, in Africa today and even in the world, standards are lowered every day. You have people, wondering how presently, especially those of us in Africa, how or where we are. You, as a person, have provided excellent service to many of the organizations, and I'd like to know what your take is on how we can bring excellence back into service.
I think bringing excellence in Africa and among the youth, first of all, the African youth they should know and understand that no one is going to bring solutions to the challenges affecting them, first of all. Once they have realized this, then I'm sure they will work hard. They will do everything wholeheartedly, because they know that if they don't do anything about it, then no one is going to help and support them. Secondly, many African young people, they should be taught the power of quality. Yes, we can do a lot of things, but what matters most is what's the quality, because quality is what defines the value, and the value is what would define even the money. If you want to be paid a lot of money, you have to do quality work. So two things, as I've already said. First of all, we should help the youth in this continent to understand that no one is going to bring solutions to the challenges affecting them. It's us who holds the key to the challenges that we face in our continent. Secondly, we should be able to understand that quality is key in everything. Yes, quantity is very good, but I believe in doing even few things, but putting all your energy, doing them wholeheartedly. And by the end of the day, you always get excellent and high quality results.
Thank you so much, sir. Like you heard, the problems of Africa can only be solved by Africans.
Yes, yes.
I'd like to hear, some of your strategies that you've used to combat the challenges that you faced in your career, and some of the risks that you've had to face in your career as well. What strategies did you use to face those risks and challenges?
Yeah. So for a young person in Africa, we know there are a lot of challenges. We have a number of visionary African young men and women, but they have no resources to finance their vision. We have a number of African young men and women who are visionary, but who have got great ambitions, but they lack mentorship, they lack training and support to help them achieve their dreams. So when I realized these things, I made sure that I get an access to institutions and people that may be able to help me. I identified some global opportunities that the world provides. So I've attended the Mandela Washington Fellowship for the Young African Leaders Initiative. It's a program that was started by former President of America, President Barack Obama, to support and train the next generation of African leaders with skills, support, and resources to help them become better leaders for their countries. So I identified such opportunities and I applied, because I knew that once I have gone through such such opportunities, such training, I will not come back home the same. So the skills and experiences that I got from such trainings like the Mandela Washington Fellowship, it helped me to start looking at life differently. It helped me to start even operating in my business, in my organization, whatever I do. I started everything that I do change. First of all, I realized that time is very important. Time is is a very important resource. So I have to make sure that I keep time. The more I keep time, the more I will achieve a lot of things. So that was the first thing. Secondly, I identified people who have gone through the path that I wanted to go. And then I had to go and ask them to mentor me. The important mentorship is very important because most of these mentors, they have gone through what we are going to go through, or what we are going through at the moment. So if you talk to somebody to guide you, probably he or she is going to tell you practical stuff. He or she is going to help you to avoid probably some of the mistakes that they made, some of the challenges that they face, because they've gone through the very same process. So I chose to identify mentors. I identified some people. I went to them and I asked them that, would you please mentor me, because I would like to do things better. And then yes, I think I had I had one mentor at a time. They accepted. They have been mentoring me, and that has helped me to avoid some of the challenges that I would have faced along the way. So those two things, identifying opportunities that will uplift me to, that will give me skills and experiences to achieve whatever I would like to do. And secondly, was to identify mentors who would help me and guide me along the way.
This is amazing. I've learned about mentorship, very important. I also learned to find role models that you can understudy. Time, like you said, is of essence. No time. Some of you guys are listening and noting like I'm taking down notes as I'm doing right now. Mr. Yakobe, quickly tell us about the youth, Young African Leaders Initiative, and your work that you had to do with them. The one you also had to do with the United Nations. What lessons we share with African youth, considering that, of course, we have a deficit in leadership in Africa?
Thank you very much. So the Young African Leaders Initiative is the Mandela Washington Fellowship is the flagship program of the Young African Leaders Initiative. So the Young African Leaders Initiative was started by President Barack Obama to help and support the promising and amazing young African leaders and to give them skills, expertise, and experience to help them become better leaders. So for the Mandela Washington Fellowship, the program that I went through, I was placed at the University of Iowa in the United States of America, and I was there for 6 weeks. And at the University of Iowa, I was trained in business and entrepreneurship. So I was taught how to run a business, how to manage staff members, how to do market research, how to manage the finances of my business, how to differentiate between personal and business man. So after the 6 weeks that I was at the University of Iowa, then I was taken to I went to Washington DC, where we met President Barack Obama, and then we had to network with a number of entrepreneurs as well from across America and fellow young African leaders as well. And then after the summit in DC with President Barack Obama, then I was placed in Seattle at Starbucks head office with Howard Schultz, who who is the owner of Starbucks. So I was working hand in hand with him, and then he was also mentoring me and giving me kind of training, job training on how best I can be a successful young entrepreneur. So that's how my US programming of the Mandela Washington Fellowship ended. And then when I came back, when I came back to Malawi in Africa, I had to I was elected to a regional advisory board for the Mandela Washington Fellowship in Southern Africa. So normally, what happens is that once you have come back from America for the Mandela Washington Fellowship, the fellowship continues. But now there's an what they call an African programming of the Mandela Washington Fellowship. So what happens is that you organize conferences, you organize events for the Mandela Washington Fellows who have returned from America, so that you can help them to become more marketable at the market for those that would like to get jobs. At the same time, should be able to connect them to resources so that they can be able to achieve whatever vision that they have. And one of the things that we did was to organize the regional conference for the Mandela Washington Fellows that are based in Southern Africa. So I was also elected the General Secretary of the Mandela Washington Fellowship Advisory Board for the Southern Africa. So in addition to that, when I came back home, the fellowship sponsored one of the people I met in America. I think that I met them in Austin, in Texas. There is an institution called 3D Startup. So what 3D Startup does is that they provide entrepreneurship training to different people across the world. So when we met, I met with some of their officials in America. They were interested in what I do. I was also interested in what they were doing, and then we agreed that they will come to Malawi and help me in implementation of one of my programs. So they came. The fellowship sponsored one guy from 3D Startup. He came here for I think 2 to 3 weeks. He helped me in the implementation of my program, and then yeah. So I think one of the biggest beneficiaries of the Mandela Washington Fellowship, to be honest.
Quickly, I'd like to hear what your definition of success and failure is, because in life, these two go together. How do you see them? How do you define them?
Come again?
I said I'd like to hear what your definition of success and failure is. Like I said earlier, the two go hand in hand. In everything, to become successful, you must have suffered some. How do you see them? What do you define as failure?
All right. So for me, success is being able to achieve what you have set out. Okay, because according to me, success is defined by the owner. Okay, if you want to be if I want to be successful, I have to define what is it that I would like to do, what is it that I would like to see. So if I have set and defined goals, and then let's say I want to do this and that by such a date, if I achieve those goals, then to me that's success, regardless of what someone is going to say, regardless of what people are going to say. But if I have achieved what I have planned, what I wanted to, if I have achieved what I wanted to achieve, then to me that's success. Whether I've achieved only one thing or whether I've achieved two or three things, but as long as I've achieved what I planned, to me that's success. Failure probably is the opposite. If I set up that if I originally planned that I want to achieve this, this, and that, and it doesn't happen, to me that's failure, regardless of whatever has happened. If something has happened that I didn't plan, to me that's not success, that's failure. But success is achieving what I have set, what I have planned. So whether it's one thing or whether whether it is big or small, but if I have really accomplished it, to me that's success.
I'd like you to quickly clarify here, because
Yes.
your story is supposed to inspire young African leaders to go after you. How would you say they should then deal with failures, no matter what they consider failure? Should you
Come again?
just let it go? I say, how would you say they should deal with failures? Because
Hmm.
you have agreed that failures are what they are when you don't achieve what you set out to achieve, and success is when you achieve what you set out to achieve. So how
Yes.
do you go you fail to achieve? Do you allow them weigh you down, or do you give up? What exactly do you do?
Yeah. I think failure. We cannot run away from it. It comes in many ways, in one way or the other. We may choose. We may plan that something to work out this way or that way, but what happens is sometimes the opposite. So many times we cannot run away from failure. It will keep on coming over and over again. But I believe that whenever something hasn't happened the way you planned or the way you wanted, it's an opportunity to learn how to do it better so that next time you don't miss out. At the same time, it gives you experience to advise some other people as well on the same direction. For example, if I have decided to venture into poultry farming, let's say yeah, I'm raising layers or chickens, and they are laying eggs. If my chickens maybe after 2 or 3 months, if they catch maybe an infection and they all die, okay. For me, yes, I've lost. At the same time, I have blamed the reason my chickens died. And then next time I'm raising the chicken, I'll make sure that what caused my chickens to die shouldn't happen again. At the same time, that experience will enable me to be able to mentor someone else who would like to go into the similar business. So to me, that's how I handle failure. It's not as if it's not the end of the world. For me, it's an opportunity to learn so that you can do better. At the same time, it's an opportunity to learn so that we can advise other people how to do things.
Yes. So it's either you succeed or you learn. That's what I'm getting.
Exactly. You,
Thank
you
you.
know these things.
So let's know your social media handles and how our viewers can connect with you. You mentioned a mentoring group that you have now. Can you share it again?
Come again?
You mentioned a mentoring group that you started in Malawi. Can you
Uh,
share?
a group or an organization?
Yes, your organization, please.
Oh yeah. So as you know, Malawi is one of the African countries that is having higher youth unemployment rate. I think at the moment, youth unemployment in Malawi is at 30%. I think if I'm
Yes.
not making a mistake. Yeah. So we have millions of graduates who are loitering in the streets. They have no job. The government cannot employ them because the government is also limited. Many businesses and companies are not creating jobs because the economic environment is not favorable for the growth and development of big businesses and big entrepreneurs. Um, Education system in Malawi has programmed many people to become job seekers and not job creators. So I decided to At the same time, I realized that there are a lot of young people who are into entrepreneurship, but they lack basic skills to help them uplift their businesses. They don't know how to separate personal money and business money. They don't know how to create markets for their products. So I decided to be a solution. So I started an NGO, which I've been reading for 5 years. And through this NGO, we've been able to train and support the youth to become entrepreneurs. In the process, helping them to create jobs for themselves and other people. At the same time, we also realized that some of them, they had brilliant business ideas, but they had no access to capital, they had no access to finance. And then we started creating linkages between these young entrepreneurs and the financial institutions, so that they can be able to get support for their businesses. At the same time, we realized that some entrepreneurs were creating excellent products, but they lacked markets. They didn't know where to buy, where to sell their products. And then one of the things that we've been doing was to create market linkages for the young entrepreneurs, so that they should be able to make money. Otherwise, you will be making your products and then you have nowhere to sell. So in 5 years, we managed to train and support over 1,000 entrepreneurs, and then we saw creation of over 1,000 jobs, sorry, 1,000 businesses and over 1,000 jobs across the country. So yeah, the organization is still there, still operating. Of course, as a Mandela Washington Fellow, Mandela taught us to not to cling on leadership. Like if you if I started this, I have to die. A leader of this institution, no. So I decided to step aside and focus on my personal business, allow mentor somebody to take over, and then see what the future holds.
Well done. Well done. So quickly, let me have your social media handles if you don't mind, so that people
Yes.
can find you.
You can
And then from Nigeria can find you as well.
Yes. So I'm on Facebook, Peter Yakobe. My full name on Facebook. I'm on Twitter, P Yakobe, capital P, capital Y A K O B E. Yeah. So I'm also on LinkedIn. Yeah. I also have a personal website. I can on www.peteryakobe, my full name.com.
Okay, so quickly, let me just run that through again. On Facebook, you are Mr. Peter Yakobe.
Yes.
On Twitter, you are P in capital, Y in capital, A in capital, Yakobe. Is that correct?
No, A small letter. Just P and Y in
P
capital.
and Y in capital. So Yakobe, that's P Yakobe on Twitter, P in capital, Y in capital. And
Yes.
on LinkedIn, you are Mr. Peter Yakobe again. Then the
Exactly.
website is www.peteryakobe.com. Am I correct?
Exactly.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for joining this interview today. And on behalf of myself, Nima, and the management of Agbari Multimedia, I must say thank you for your time and your impactful counsel.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
Thank you. And to Agbari Multimedia family out there, I say thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and share. Don't forget to follow us also on all social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Till I come your way again next time, my name is Nima Akashadzide. Be inspired by the interview and get ready to be the next Amazon and Afripreneur to be celebrated around the world. Bye.